Hello viewers, this is Leva. I'm just sitting here in my dining area. Just in front of me is that view. And as you see, the leaves of the trees are turning yellow because it's fall. Some trees already lost their leaves. They look dead. A lot of plants will lose their flowers. The only plant that will remain as it is are the pine trees. We call it here in Sweden gran, and it's totally a lot of different kinds of pine trees. So they are the only ones that will remain as it is. They will not be affected by the cold weather. So I have shown you the things or the view in front of me. And I was talking about all these trees that lost their leaves, some torn yellow. And by this week, I'm sure all those yellow leaves will fall into the ground. That is why we call it this season fall. And it's because of the leaves of most of the plants that will fall down on the ground, and those yellow leaves, orange leaves will fall down on the ground and be torn into brown and get rotten and disappear and be like nutrients to the weeds or whatever living thing growing on the ground. But anyway, I will talk about life. In maybe a lot of you people, sometimes it will come to your mind that, what is the meaning of life? It has actually a lot of meaning, and it depends upon how we put a meaning on our lives. It is we people who put a meaning to our lives. Some people might think that I don't have nothing, I don't have anything. I will tell you, before I came here in Sweden, I lived a very simple life in the Philippines. And during this time, I felt happy. I have 3 sisters in the Philippines. I have one now who transferred also here in Sweden, and 2 are left in the Philippines. They have also kids. And the meaning of life depends upon each and every one of you. We have a different view in life. We have a different way of making ourselves happy. We have a different way of doing something to make us happy. Some people, even you live a simple life, you can't be the happiest person on earth. And it's because it's just normal for us. We have unlimited ones, but we have limited resources. So if you are a kind of person that you are contented of the resources that you have in your life, you are so lucky, because you are the kind of person who will not have a difficult way to meet your happiness, to meet your contentment in life. Because contentment, it depends upon us. Are you contented with what you have? Or you still want to have much more? But the reason why I can tell you that I am the kind of person that I can really tell, it's because I had been in those 2 situations. I can remember when I was small until I went to university. We are 4 sisters. We didn't have lots of money. We are not living in a very nice house. We are living in a very simple life. But I can remember the time from my childhood. We are very happy. And that's because if you're a person where you don't measure happiness by the money you have in your bank, by the material things you have, by the clothes you wear, then you are lucky, because it is easy for you to find satisfaction. It is easy for you to find happiness. And mind you, happiness can never be bought by any money. Of course, money is not everything. Money is something. You need money. A lot of people needs money and wants to have money. But it doesn't mean either that everybody who has a lot of money are very happy. And why I can say that? It's because I live in a country where a lot of people are living in a very high standard of life. A lot of people have, have a very good economic situation. But mind you, not all of them are happy. They have depression. They have times where they don't want to live. They have times where they're not happy anymore. And they can have all the luxurious things anybody would want, but still they're not happy. That is why I can tell you I am in the situation where I can really say that, because I had been to these two worlds, like a world where you live simply, things around you are simple, and there is one very important thing that you have to think about when you live in this world. Do not live your life depending on what is being expected of you. Do not show people that I'm like this. It's because you want to please them. I understand that a lot of young people really, they are like this kind of pleaser, They want to please others. But actually, as time goes by and you age, you can just realize why. Why do you have to please people? I am now in my age where I just realize it, like, why I was like that before when I was young. Because I'm not young anymore. I am 49 years old. I'm born in 1971. So I'm 49 years old. I will be turning 50 in 2021. And that is why I can tell you that I have all the experience. When I came to Sweden, everything was not like this. Me and my husband, we worked together. It was not that when I came to Sweden, like we live immediately in a big house and, everything was just, very nice and all. No, it's not. But during the time we live in a very small house, it's kind of house, not even half the size of this house I live now. I never ambitioned to build or to own a big house. Me and my husband never, ever did in our thought that we can have this kind of house. It just happened, and then we just suddenly decide that, okay, we invest. This is our investment. So we put money in it, and then that is our investment in the future when we retire or whatever. So mind you, people here are very much fan of changing electronic things. They can change their television every year, every 2 years. They always change their furnitures. And like every season, people change. There are people here, they change their furnitures. Like if it's winter, okay, we do interior changes now in our house, and then like every season. And when it's summer, they update again the things, the furnitures in their balcony or balcony or outside. And here, a lot of people, they have to buy flowers. They have to buy, before the summer, it's just spring and people are running in stores, buying all these things to be prepared in their gardens. A kind of thing you will never see in the Philippines, because of course in the Philippines you don't put flowers inside your house. It's not very common, unless maybe if you live in a condominium, in an apartment, or these kind of places. But in most cases, people living simply, you don't have plants in your house. The reason why we do it here in Europe, and it's because most of these plants that are inside, they don't survive outside. That is why. So life. Live your life the way you love it. That is the kind of sentence that me, Evelyn of Liva had written. And Sometimes you think about your life like a cup of tea, like when it's full, the cup is full, the tea is still hot. And it's like your life. You can be in a period of your life where you have full happiness, full contentment. Like you are in a different way. Some people maybe were in love, and when they are in love, they are deeply in love, and they are in this level of, they feel so hot. The energy is, really full. And then as long as you drink from time to time from your coffee, it's getting colder. And sometimes you want to be in a hurry to drink your coffee while it's hot. So there's a saying of that, like, strike while the iron is hot. And it's really true. But then I still believe that in our lives, it's like, it's like a process where you go up and down. It's like a process of same like driving. You go on a road, sometimes it's kind of traffic or some kind of hinder, and you don't feel happy for it. And life is like that. There are periods in a life where you don't feel happy. You can be depressed a little bit. You can be just so tired. And sometimes you feel like, oh my goodness, it's just so tired. And so there was one time, there was a mother in my work, and she's always tired, and she had some kind of depression problem and sleeping problem, and she's even taking some sleeping pills just to sleep. A lot of people here have problems of sleeping. And when you age, you can also have that problem, but some people really have a very, very serious sleep problems. And then she told me one time, Evelyn, I'm really so tired. I don't know, I feel it's just too much. And then I said to her, you know what? Life is like that. It's kind of, as long as you live, do not expect that everything is happiness. As long as you live, you encounter sadness. You encounter problems. You encounter depression. You encounter all these negative things mixed together, and you just feel like you fall down. You just feel like you don't want to go up. But then I said to her, but life is like that. It's kind of, sometimes you do the sacrifice. If you don't feel pain anymore, you don't feel sadness, depression, all these negative things, then you are not living anymore. And I said to her, it means you're dead. And she said, yeah, I wish I'm dead. And I said to her, no, don't think about that. But mind you, these people, they have everything. So when you see in movies, when you see in news or whatever, you see like in Europe countries, a lot of European countries or whatever Western countries, me as an Asian person, and I had lived in Asia, where a lot of people are living simply but happy. People are together. They can be just, together with their neighbor, drinking coffee like in their garden. And there is nothing fancy. And I had been in that situation before. And you just feel happy. You just feel contented. You get a very small thing, a very simple thing. You get a very simple gift. And your happiness is just so much. And I still can remember my childhood. And I can really see the difference. You come into a country where people are, especially like you if you are in a place where you live very near the capital city, and I work in the capital city, it is Stockholm, and you see a lot of people living in a very high standard, and it's really everything they have. If you think that they have all the happiness, if you think that they are the happiest person, no, they are not. That is what I said, that happiness in life can never be measured by what you have. by what material things you have. No, it can never make you happy. In this kind of country where you're far away from your family, or even people who are near their family, yes, they have almost everything. Before the pandemic, people here in Sweden, they travel around the world. They work so hard, save the money, they go out from here and have a month vacation, have 2-3 weeks vacation. And it's kind of happiness that is very limited. But then they come back, you work, work, work. And yeah, the process is just the same. You work, go home to your family, you do the normal things you do. And so I can tell that if you are so good embracing happiness in your life, you should consider also be better in embracing the negative things, the sad things that will come to your life. In that way, it can make your life quite easier. So it's a lot of things that I can talk about life. It's a lot of things that I can talk about how to deal with it. And I think it's much more of like what I learned from the past. Because me and my husband, we never started like, living in a big place, or we started from very small. And during those times, we live in a very small house. We are just very, how to say it? We appreciate people who have, who have so much of their lives. I may be living now in this big house, but I can tell you, I am the same. Nothing changed. So I can tell you that as much as you have your feet on the ground, you're safe. Being humble is kind of a very good thing for all of us. So if you think that life should be just, being happy 100%, you are totally wrong. So I would say thank you so much for listening to me. I would be making much more of this kind of vlog, like, talking and share to you everything I had been through, sharing to you everything that can give you some ideas, anything that can maybe make you or see the other side of life. That life is a very, very interesting, a very, challenging. And in what way you spend your life, in what way you make your life, it's you who decide for it. So live your life the way you love it. But mind you, it can be a challenge. Take the challenge and go on. And in that way, you will feel contentment inside you. This is Evelyn of Leva saying to you, thanks a lot, and see you again, see you around on my next vlog.